The process of meeting the media is not anything other than completely calculated. We have our PR staff meet with me and the GM because we would always meet the media together at the end of every season. President of Baseball Ops. The head of PR, PJ, would come sit down. We would go over talking points. We would go over subjects that were going to be brought up. We would go over exactly what we were going to say about our roster, about our payroll, about our season, putting a bow on last season, disappointment, elation, hope. Talk about the offseason, goals, talk about some marketing sales strategies, talk about some on-field personnel issues, and then say, we'll be in touch. See you at the winter meetings. TTFN, baby. Ta-ta for now. Do you think for 1 second that Nico Harrison was not prepared to meet the media? Because when I show you what he said in his closing press conference, you will realize that when I call for his firing immediately, but not just him, wait till you hear who else should lose the job. I want you to watch this video, please, and listen to this audio when Nico Harrison talked about this past season and the trade involving Luka Doncic.
I know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level, but really the way we looked at it is, you know, if you're putting a team on the floor that's Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Anthony Davis, and Lively, we feel that's a championship caliber team, and we would have been winning at a high level, and that would have quieted some of the outrage.
That's it. I just want to make sure you all heard that as clearly as I did. He didn't know to what level Luka was important to the fan base. Do you think that that was part of the preparation from the PR people? Because if that was the answer that he was told to give on that, everyone in the PR department should be let go. If Nico said that on his own, then he should be let go. And you may think that's harsh. You may think I would take pleasure in that. And the answer is no. Why would I take pleasure in having an employee who is that incompetent? You're telling me that it took the outrage post-trade for you to know what Luka meant in Dallas? Were you not there in 2021 when it was Luka Doncic Day, officially declared by the city of Dallas? Recognizing everything he did on the court and off, the guy was a pillar in the community, 25 years old. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed something, Coca. You were in the finals last year. A championship caliber team. There is a problem going on in the Mavericks organization right now, and problems start at the top, and when you're at the top, you're responsible to fix them. For purposes of this conversation, we're going to say Patrick Dumont is the top of the Mavericks org. We all know, if you've listened to Nothing Personal, you all know why he's there, why he's the governor. You know that it couldn't be his mother-in-law, Miriam Adelson. You know that Dumont has no idea what he's doing. And then you read a bunch of stuff yesterday that Dumont made Nico Harrison meet the media with that little media roundtable he did with the president, Rick Welts, that we talked about last week, or was it yesterday? I can't remember when it was, Coca, but we did a whole segment on the ridiculousness of that media session and how that didn't work. And now Nico Harrison is out here, and now word is that Dumont was so upset with Harrison because Dumont was not warned about how this trade would be greeted by the fans. Wasn't aware when he gave permission because the president of basketball ops, said this is a championship caliber roster without Luka. We're going to play great defense. We're going to be long and lean. And he named those players that he named. Give me a small break. I guess I have this view of it. When you are new to an organization the way Dumont is, You're trying to learn as much as you can about the organization and about your people, but you have to have somebody with you. You have to have someone you can trust, whether it's a PR person, whether it's an assistant GM, whether it's the GM, whether it's your friend who's not even part of the team. You need somebody who's willing to talk to you and not be a sycophant, not genuflect in your general direction, someone who can tell you how it is. When a GM has too much power, eventually that GM is going to get let go. When you read that Nico fired a longtime team trainer who had been there under Dirk, who had been there for 25 years, and that was the beginning of real problems within the organization, you think to yourself, is that normal? And it's being reported on all sorts of media fronts that it was Nico Harrison trying to put his stamp on the organization, trying to make him the lone voice. I've got a news flash for you. Every single GM does the same thing. Every president of basketball or baseball operations or NFL general manager, president of football ops, they're all trying to get the full power. There's a reason why there's very few people who make it from GM to GM, because GMs want their own people. They want to start again. They want to see who they inherit, evaluate them quickly, and then bring in the people that are comfortable with, they know, or who they think will be loyal to them. Because the politics of the front office are all about loyalty to the number one person. The reason the loyalty matters is that the amount of backstabbing, the amount of media that is used in order to subvert and make sure that there is a power struggle that is known, that is public, and that all cuts against how a team can actually perform on the field, I think you'd be blown away. What you see with an organization during the press conferences we talk about, during statements, that's like the tip of the iceberg. You have to know that below the surface, there is so much. And what I was thinking the best way to describe it to you, and here's what I came up with. The reason why icebergs are the way they are, and that you only see the tip above water, is that often the foundation is something that we all take for granted. We don't really think about the rebar involved in buildings. We worry about the elevator cables. We don't really think about the structure of our house. We just know if there's an immovable wall. We know if there's a column, hey, that column's necessary, but I'm still going to try to slap a picture into it. Oh, wow, that made it hard. The nail can't go in there. We don't really think much about the people who put our planes together when the engine's on fire. We're thinking about whether or not the captain's drunk or whether or not the slides work and I can take my carry-on. We think about the wrong stuff. What you should be thinking about with your organization when you're thinking about the team that you love, but you don't want to because you just want to be a fan. Sorry to do this to you. What you should be thinking about is the underbelly of your organization and how sicknesses manifest themselves, and then how you know you can't win when that happens. The Mavericks have a true problem. How it ends is very simple. Wait to see is when we tell you something's going to happen. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, fine. We will revisit it. Nico Harrison is going to lose his job no later than the end of this year. So in 2025, Nico Harrison will lose his job because Patrick Dumont, and that's a wait to see, Coca, make it official, put it in there. Because Patrick Dumont is going to say to himself, too many people are seen below the surface. There's too much. We've got to make it so people can view our team again as a team to love and invest in.